are rolling.
Let's do it. Hello and welcome everybody to another edition, right, in the guard, following UFC Fight Night, Cannanier versus Gastelum. We're going to go over the card here, our whiskey and wagers, maybe a little boxing, all the stuff that's going down in combat sports. But now let's dive in, all right, get to the meat of the matter. Main event last night, Jared Cannanier versus Kelvin. I just can't make weight no matter what weight class it is.
It turns out that extra quarter of a pound couldn't help him get any takedowns. Where he's 0 for 8, some shit like that.
Kelvin Gastelum's biggest opponent and his rival in the history in his MMA career is the scale.
I mean, I feel like it was a pretty close fight. There were moments, but I think it was clear Cannanier won.
This is why there's weight classes in fights.
Yeah.
This is it right here.
You look at Gastelum; he's a pretty wide dude, though.
Kelvin Gastelum should be a lightweight.
Yeah, I mean,
he's even too small for welterweight. The way he's built, he's short.
Yeah,
he's tough, and he's obviously strong physically. Yeah, he's tough as shit, and that's why he's able to hang with these bigger guys. But if he was able to keep his diet and act like his clone Hasparas, right?
Yeah,
if they worked out together, maybe they get down the shape. If he was able to fight in the lightweight division, he'd be a fucking problem. He'd be a problem. Like he'd be the type of guy that might be able to be Khabib type problem.
Essentially, you have a lightweight fighting a former heavyweight.
Right, exactly. And Cannanier definitely like controlled distance the whole time. Anytime Gastelum tried to get down, like we said, defended all the takedowns. Had a few times where he fucking rocked Kelvin. Like you thought it was over. I was like, oh, there it is, the flash KO.
Kelvin had some spots too. They just were far and few in between.
Yeah, I mean,
Cannanier was doing a good job of countering and like staying out of the way of the takedowns.
And I think the big statement were the takedown defenses.
Yeah.
Every time he went for the takedown, nope. So when it's kind of even in the striking, the big strikes all were Cannanier. All the big damage shots, and he had 2 knockdowns or whatever it was, and then just totally shut down the takedown game. That's why it was clear.
It's almost like to this point, I'm not even interested in seeing Kelvin fight at 185 anymore.
I think it was a 49-46 fight. I think Gastelum had round 2.
I think it was 4-1. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gastelum
round 2 for Gastelum. The rest.
That's what we're in agreement on that one. And I think Cannanier's calling out Izzy, right? He had the winner, Izzy Rob.
Why not? Who else is in that division?
He's number 3. I mean, Paulo's already lost, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you do have Brunson.
He was supposed to fight Costa.
You do have Brunson and Till. That could, I mean, Darren Till, if he wins that Brunson fight, Dana might find a way to get
Brunson's
him in.
on a run too.
Although Cannanier says he needs some fucking money and he wants to fight again before that Izzy and Whitaker fight, so maybe he does get the winner of the Brunson and Till fight.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down. That's a good fight. That's a good fight there. Good thing Gastelum.
Cannanier looked good last night. Okay.
Like Kelvin Gastelum.
That's a knock against Kelvin or what, but he looked good.
He has won me over personally again for the take all these fights, and he's fighting top guys too. So, let's not totally shit on him because he is in the middleweight division. He's been fighting top 5 guys. He goes from he's fought Izzy, Whitaker, and Cannanier all in a matter of what, a year and a half, 2 years tops. Like that's the cream of the crop in that division. He's hung in there with every last one. Yeah. The one he looked worse against was Rob. Rob was the only one
fucked him
where
up.
he looked like he didn't belong.
Rob pieced up Cannanier too, though.
Outside of Jan, he gave Izzy his best fight, right? Outside of Jan, obviously he lost.
That's the biggest war that Izzy's
right.
had.
Everyone wants to talk about that first Vittori fight. No fucking way. It was the Gastelum fight where Gastelum almost had his ass. It was It was 2-2 going into 5, and Izzy had to do that epic. I'm going to die for this, whatever.
Yeah.
So Gastelum again, it's not a bad fight. He's still fucking relatively young, but man, his weight.
He's getting that Aldo category though. Like you've been fighting for so long, and you're so young. Like,
but he hasn't fought bad. But he hasn't had the bad loss like Aldo's had. Aldo's had some bad losses where he's been fucking totally outclassed and not. I mean, his only bad loss was probably Whitaker. That was it. And then he still was in there. He didn't finish. He ain't finished.
He's still never been knocked out.
Right. It came close a couple times last night.
Yeah.
So I just think he needs to go back at least on the welter. At least to welter. I don't know if he can do it.
He's got to switch something up.
Or maybe it's not even a knock.
They'd be knocking his diet and stuff.
Maybe go over to PFL or Bellator. He'll make money over there, right?
I don't know. I think there's a PFL curse. Feels like everybody that's going over there is getting beat.
Yeah, but they're all old men that go over there. They're all old-ass men. This guy's in his 20s still. Yeah. Like, you've gone. It's just because, especially if
Sergio Pettis is doing all right.
If you, but he lost a little bit early on. If you are already fighting all the top guys, what are you going to do at middleweight in the UFC? You're just going to hang out there? I mean, I don't know what his show money is, but I guarantee if he goes to Bellator or PFL, he steps up to that main event level. He's a main eventer over there, and he's probably going to make more money. Probably better for his career, but obviously the legacy, UFC is the brand, is the name,
That's true.
So I don't know what's up with Kelvin Gastelum. And he'll probably take another. Someone's going to back out, and he's going to take. When Costa backs out of his next fight, who's he fighting? Vettori?
It's kind of the same thing that happened here.
Yeah, we're gonna see Gastelum fight Vettori next because Costa's going to back out of that for drinking too much wine.
Like, fuck it, I'll fight. Whatever.
He at least his paycheck. He's getting paychecks.
Let's keep rolling.
All right, next one. Co-main event. Kind of a snoozer.
Yeah.
Kind of a snoozer for sure.
Jody fell asleep.
Yeah,
I nodded out a few times too. My son goes, "Dad, you awake? Dad, you awake?"
There's no takedowns in this fight. Though.
None whatsoever. And I get why Clay didn't want to do it. He didn't want to get in that game with Matson. He knew that he had no chance of out wrestling the Olympic silver medalist in wrestling. So I'm a better MMA fighter. So let me keep us on the feet. And Matson basically won this fight with a jab. Yeah, that was basically the story. That he still looks, he has a lot to work to do. I mean, Clay Guida, again, MMA legend, but on the wrong side of 40.
Cool haircut though.
Yeah. Clay Guida is the most likable probably fighter of all time. Local guy. Anytime you want to stop by, Clay, come on through to show you our open door policy for you.
Give us your best burp.
But the fact that he almost looked outclassed in this fight. Yeah. The one positive I will give the Matson, besides that he's able to grit it out, tough it out. His cardio looked better. His
split decision though.
Yeah, but I think the cardio might have been because he didn't wrestle. Yeah. That's why he's able to stand up tall, and that could have been part of the game plan. Let me try to go 3 rounds and see if I could do it. Who knows? Or maybe he was just so conscious of gassing out. Again, we kind of talked about it with Menefield, right? His last fight. When you've gassed out before, maybe you're so afraid of gassing out again, you're not giving your all. He's still young in his MMA career. Not young overall, but he's 10th fight or something like that.
Yeah, he's 11-0 now, I think.
Going against a guy who's fucking got more losses than he does total fights. And then again in the cage with the best
Clay
of the
don't
best.
care. He's going fishing today.
Yeah,
so
he's been there. He's been in that cage with the best and the best from generations, right? Yeah. From generations to all the way back to WEC and all that. So again, you got to give him some props for gutting out a decision against Clay. But again, I think the ceiling might be limited for Matson. Yeah, I would like to see that Gillespie fight. Did he call it Gillespie at the end of it?
I don't know.
Yes, he did.
I would love to see that. Let's go. Let's see some wrestling.
All right,
Cancel
let's go.
Itself out.
Fucking lost money in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, well, this was a hard one, volatile as fuck.
This was a battle of mediocrity.
And you're saying since Sherman's come off that suspension, he hasn't been the same really.
I'd say Sherman needs to learn to pull the trigger a little bit more. Right, he had a sharp leg kick, and that's probably all he really had in the fight yesterday. Where Parker Porter, who did not, if you look at this picture, you would not think that Parker Porter would be the nonstop, all volume fighter in this fight. Right. If you look at the stats here, you would think they'd be flipped, right? The way these guys look. Yeah. But Parker Porter's busy for a heavyweight, and that's how he won. Just basically on volume. Nothing was too big for anybody except, I mean, he did rock that leg. Sherman rocked that leg for sure.
The narrative was supposed to be the other way around. Sherman was supposed to out-volume him, and this was not the
case. I thought Sherman would get a quick knockout, and that's kind of where has been his path to victory. He did look better in this fight than against Arlovsky for sure. But I mean, Porter just was able to.
Still a step behind, though.
The volume of Porter is insane, which makes me want to see him versus Felipe. Carlos Felipe, Parker Porter.
He's fighting who? Arlovsky. It's his turn.
He's going to win that fight. He's going to be Felipe's going to win that fight by decision. He's going to win that fight by decision. And I think Porter Felipe will be a fun heavyweight fight with lots of strikes, lots of volume. They're going to stand in the middle of the ring, and go for it. Where Sherman, again, he had that knockout. Again, it's against Ike Villanueva too. Yeah, it's not the cream of the crop that you're knocking out. Gets popped for PEDs and just hasn't looked good since. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with him. And these are two guys that are never going to be in the big picture in the heavyweight division, but mediocre guys. They'll be hanging around for a while. They'll have solid careers.
They got to fill the.
Yeah, I mean, when you're doing a card every fucking weekend, you got to have some guys like this on your card. Again, not terrible fighting, but again, I think the definition of mediocrity.
Yeah. All right.
This one, I called it. Yeah. I called it. I didn't have.
You could see it in Trevin Jones'
right.
performance.
I didn't get it into my picks because I had already posted and put them out. But right before the card started, I started watching some film on this guy, and I kind of saw his strength of schedule. Saeed Yukov Kakhmaranov. I did not say that right, but it's close. I'm gonna get it versus Trevin Jones. Having a knockout of Oscar on the independent circuit. Had a fight with him. Again, KO'd. I forget that there's another name on there I saw that was pretty impressive, a UFC veteran. Going against Trevin Jones, who is a good fighter, has knockout power for sure.
Was it Yanez?
No, Draco. Did he fight Draco? Was it Draco?
Somebody.
No. Mana Martinez fought Draco. Who is it? He had another UFC quality guy on his resume, but this guy is lethal. lethal with striking. He kind of showed it too because he was piecing Trevin Jones up on the feet. Another knock I had on Trevin Jones going in is that the man's been in Vegas. He lives in Guam, which is a strange, random place to live. From the natural
Askar.
Umar Nurmagomedov, the Askar knockout. He had Umar who's undefeated, killing people in the UFC right now. He fought him to a decision in the PFL. So this guy had some impressive resume coming in. He wasn't just some guy off the street doing nothing. Versus a guy like that. Trevor Jones is a good fighter, has knockout power, did okay, but when it came to the feet, man.
Yeah, you can say he was getting gassed out too, though. Like you were saying, I think he just he's been walking around at that weight for that long.
Yeah, we kind of saw it. It ended up being the downfall of Tony Ferguson, I think, making weight twice in 1 month. Well, Trevin Jones been in Vegas. His fights have been getting canceled left and right, and you've been hanging around at 135, depleting yourself for a month. And he looked gassed.
Also, how much emotional energy did he expend? Like, he was pretty fired up at the weigh-ins and shit like that.
He finally got a fight versus a hungry kid who's not a scrub, and he pieced him up. Yeah, he pieced him up.
Beat him up pretty
Trevin
good.
Jones was able to push against the cage and try to steal a win that way. That was his strategy because he knew he couldn't catch him on the feet. But at the end of the day, time expired a guillotine, right? He caught him in the guillotine late in the fight. And,
Well, it was on the cage for like 3 minutes, and then all of a sudden.
But Saeed was smart with the cage. Prime example of how to get against like the whole TJ Corey fight. When he was against the cage, he was hitting the shit out of Trevin Jones. He was elbowing him, punching him, hitting whatever he can to get strikes on him to show I'm the one that's initiating contact here. He's just laying on me. So again, it happened on the floor too, even on the ground. When they went to the ground like around 1 and 2, he's throwing elbows, he's hitting him. It got to the point where he won a round where Trevin Jones ended on top and mount.
Yeah, Trevin Jones had that mount at the end of the second,
and he still won that round.
Yeah. So
you gotta be aggressive even when you're on the bottom or press against the cage. I want to see Saeed come back again. That bantamweight division. There's endless. I know. We'll talk about who called him out earlier, but Saeed and Sugar fight would be fun. Let's go. Let's go.
I like that.
Let's go.
Like that.
Saeed was sharp on the feet. He's not just going to stand there and get Mutino'd.
Well, Sugar doesn't want to fight ranked guys, so let's do it.
Yeah.
It works out.
Although I wouldn't mind the boom fight either. We'll talk about that when it comes around. But yeah, so Trevin Jones.
Give him another shot. Hopefully get a fight that happens.
Take some time off. I mean, probably who knows what the financial situation is again when we talk about these fighters. But let your body kind of recover from that big time weight cut. Try to get back by the end of the year. Give him again 135.
I mean, it's 2-1, right?
Yeah, 135. There's plenty of opponents for him. If you really want to help him out, give him Pilarte. Yeah. We'll talk about him a little bit later.
So I didn't get to watch this one
Vince
too much.
from Hell Pichelle versus Austin Thud Hubbard. The story in this was kind of power versus speed, right? Vince Pichelle, older, first time his first fight camp.
Doc Holliday looking.
Yeah, 40 years old, first time he's lifted weights for a camp. So he's feeling stronger than he ever has. Good, solid, well-rounded fighter. Could wrestle. Got, I think, a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Has some strange striking.
He didn't have any takedowns in this fight, though.
No, but he has some knockdowns.
Hubbard got him down, right?
Right,
Yeah.
but they were kind of knockdowns turned to takedowns. That's another story too. But when they were on the feet engaging, Pichelle's were rocking Hubbard, but Hubbard would get 2 or 3 hit combos that really weren't doing much damage to Pichelle. But again, every time Pichelle would rock Hubbard, he'd fall into a single or double leg takedown and then get the fight to the ground, which made this one incredibly hard to score. And in my book, going by what I've seen lately, I thought Hubbard won this fight. Pichelle definitely rocked him and was hitting him harder. Probably had a little bit. He did have a striking edge, but any time that Hubbard got in trouble, he was able to secure the takedown, and it kind of stayed there for the rest of the round. So, again, I'm not mad at this decision, but it just goes to show the inconsistency of judges. I tweeted during the fight, like, this is gonna be the one where people are gonna be pissed no matter where the decision goes.
But it kind of plays out where the fights are happening though too, right? Like the Texas judges versus the New York judges versus the Vegas judges. It's all different.
I had it 29-28 Austin Hubbard, but all three rounds could have went to either person, so you got a 30-27 either way. Wouldn't have bothered me either. So again, with the end of this, I was like, who knows what happens here? I flipped the coins and hope that Hubbard got it, because it would help me a lot more in DraftKings. Yeah. But again, I'm not yelling robbery. I would love to bash the judges every chance that I get to. I can't really bash them on this one because it's just tough. They got to come up with a better system. Yeah, they just need a better system. But it was a fight. It was a solid fight. It's not going to go down in history, but I'm not sad that I watched it either. I liked it better than the fucking Porter fight.
This is a fun fight.
Of course, Brandon Raw Dog Royval and the Cannibal Alexander Pantoja, non-stop action the whole time.
Royval's fearless. He scrambles. He's got to shore up his defense.
This first round was one of my favorite rounds I've watched all year. It was just nonstop. I got so fucking
It's almost
tired.
like he just wants to take, like he wants you to take him down.
Especially with all the grappling that was going on in that round. Like it was
good
the scrambles, just going through what we do in training, how tiring that had to fucking be. I mean, it's different when you're 135 pounds versus 250 pounds, but still, like they were just moving nonstop, sweeps and reversals and transitions and get up game. It was just madness, fury the first round, and which I think Pantoja got the best of in that round for sure. He
he just hit so much harder. And Royval has no striking defense.
Royval almost locked him. What was that sub? He almost locked him in though. He was close.
He had like a heel hook.
There was a heel hook towards the end of the round, but Pantoja got rid of it. I guess apparently, I'm becoming a fan of heel hooks in my jiu-jitsu game. But as Craig Jones says, if you know how to do heel hooks, they're very easy to defend. Mm-hmm. So it's not as threatening as people say they are. Yeah. But yeah, Pantoja was able to get his back in round 2 and lock in that rear naked, which I was kind of disappointed that Royval tapped.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he kind of just gave him.
He held it out for so long. I was like, yeah, he's not going to tap. Go to sleep. Trevin Jones didn't tap. Trevin Jones went night. He took that choke. Yeah. I was like, go to sleep. Especially, I was telling before the show went on air, I just read Breathe with Hicks and Gracie's book, and he's all about you don't tap. Warriors don't tap. You don't tap. In no circumstance do you tap. So I was like,
like armbar,
nothing. Nothing.
Let that shit break.
Let it break. That's what Hickson's a bad motherfucker. And he lives by that.
Those old school guys are like that.
If you're a black belt, you're never supposed to tap. If you're a black belt, you're never supposed to tap out. But anyway, Brandon Boy,
not in training though.
No, in competition.
Yeah, in competition.
In competition.
That's why a lot of them get their arms broke.
Right.
Souza and all that.
Yeah, for sure. You see that. That's why you see it a lot. But yeah, Royval, a fun fighter. Still, again, I think he has a future.
Yeah, he does. He's just got to tighten up a few things. He's fucking fearless. He goes after it, but he's got to work on some defense.
What was it? I always forget his name. Perez, right? The guy who got the
yeah.
Who's he fighting? He's got a fight coming up soon, right?
I can't remember. I thought he was supposed to fight a few cards ago, but it got canceled.
I think what's his name? The dude with the A in that division, the 125.
Not
is he ranked?
Askarov. I think Askarov gets the winner of that fight. And maybe he should get the loser of that fight. Right? Give the loser of that fight. I know he's got a fight coming up.
Oh, he's fighting Matt Schnell.
Yeah, so I think he should get Royval should get the loser of that fight. That should be the next one, and give Perez who, because Pantoja is going to fight. Pantoja is going to fight
Moreno.
Because with the nicest call out of all time, right?
Who do you call up?
Moreno. He talked to him. Because Moreno's working. He works the Spanish speaking broadcast. Yeah. So he's just sitting there laughing, talking. He's like, because he's beaten Brandon Moreno before. He's got some wins against him on his belt. He's like, I know we've had competition before. You've come a long way. You're a champion now. I would love the chance. It's like, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically the friendliest. And Moreno's like, oh yes, good. That would be a good idea. It was the friendliest fucking call out.
That's one of the fights to make. You know?
Yeah. And I don't know what's with Davison.
Yeah.
I mean,
are Davison Pantoja?
I found Pantoja. I'm like, give me that title shot.
Yeah.
Cause I'd rather go fight Moreno than fight Davison after I got the belt, if I got it, But yeah, who knows what Davison might just want to take time off.
He might go bantamweight. Who knows?
Do you want to go there? That's the last of it. I'd go up to featherweight before I go to bantamweight. Yeah. There's just so we just saw those bantamweights earlier. There's so many of them. A guy like Trevin Jones and the new guy that just showed up, and we got Manny Martinez fighting next week. Though. There's so many bantamweights that it's murderer's row no matter where you go in that division. But yeah, Royval, younger, ready to go out. I say give Pantoja that shot at Moreno. It'll be a fun fight. Any fight with Moreno will be a fun fight, right? But again, there's history there too.
Let's go the undercard prelims.
So this one was a little bit lackluster, right?
Yeah, I missed this one.
So Austin Lingo versus Luis Saldana. Austin Lingo lights out is called lights out because he's had 5 first-round finishes and 4 of them in less than 45 seconds in his career versus Luis Saldana, a Contender Series alum winner who has not found his footing in the UFC.
Yeah, I kind of found this a spot to take the underdog. I played Lingo.
So did I. We both picked him too. Heads up.
I just didn't have much stock in Saldana to get this done.
Saldana, I tweeted yesterday during the fight, Saldana should lose a point for dumb shit. He would just do a weird jumping knee for no fucking reason or some stupid spinning move, and Lingo just was eating him up. He did get a cut over his eye, and I think people are mad because he got the decision because of damage. Mm-hmm. A cut over your eye is not that big a fucking deal. It's not that much damage. These guys fight.
It's kind of what you saw in the Bahamondes fight.
Right?
Too.
Yeah, they spar all the time. That area is so damaged. Like, it does not take much to get that cut. Yeah. I mean, Saldana didn't really do much. He was always in the back foot. Lingo was always coming forward. I think Lingo had a couple takedowns in there too as well to wrap it up. I think it was a clear decision for him. He had a knockdown too, which I thought there was going to be. Oh yeah, no, he had the knockdown. He gave him that hook to the liver, and Saldana kind of went to the ground, and I thought it was going to be over at that point. So again, Lingo gets the decision. I think it should.
It's 2 in a row for Lingo, right?
I think it's 2 fucking losses for Saldana too.
Yo, he lost his last fight.
Yeah. I think we're in agreement on that one. And I picked him in the last fight. I had Lingo in this one against the native. What's his name? What do they call himself? The native psycho.
Was it
Jordan?
They cut him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he won the fight.
Yeah, I
Espinoza?
No, I forget his last name, but he goes by the native psycho.
Griffin.
Jordan Griffin.
Griffith.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he's cut, but he
got
definitely
cut
won the
when
fight.
he got robbed. Jordan Griffin.
Yeah,
Jordan Griffin, native psycho. The bad decision on that one. So I don't know what we go with Saldana again. He's in. This is bantamweight too, right? No.
This is feather, I think.
Feather. Yeah, you're in trouble in that division. I don't see him going anywhere. Unless he wants to go down to 135, maybe. Again, that's the murderer's row.
No,
he doesn't have power like these guys have power. He's got some speed and some sharp like technical striking, but he just was not hurting Lingo. Even his combos landing, it did not rock Lingo. He was coming straight forward into it, and he was.
Lingo's like, bring it.
Yeah, bring it,
bitch.
Give me more.
Bring it, bitch.
All right, let's keep rolling.
Now, this was a fucking ass raping right here. We had, boom, Brian Kelleher versus the Son of Fire. That's what you want to call yourself, Domingo Pilarte. Didn't know much about Pilarte coming in. I'm a big fan of Brian Kelleher. Fun, got power in his hands, got a vicious guillotine choke and great wrestling, and he just fucking basically gorilla fucked Brian.
That's kind of was the narrative the whole time. Like, he's either going to knock him out or wrestle fuck him
or
do all of them.
236 total strikes. He only ended up many takedowns because once he got down, he didn't come back up. Yeah. He got one and come down. So he had 1 per round. Total dominance by Brian Kelleher. And he's the one that called out the man, the Sugar Show. And let me see that.
He's still holding that gatekeeping position pretty strong.
Like, I would love to see how Sugar deals with his wrestling. Right? And not only his wrestling, a guy who could still stand with him on the feet, too. If he fights a guy like Ricky Simone, if he's able to avoid the wrestling, Simone's not going to beat him. Right?
Yeah.
Brian Kelleher can throw some hands with him, and if he catches him, Brian Kelleher can knock him out. Mm-hmm. So that's a fight I'm in there all day for it, right? He's not ranked. You said you want no ranked fighter, Sugar? Let's go. And again, if you're not, it's only beneficial to O'Malley. People start respecting. If he beats Brian Kelleher, a lot of those haters will get a little bit more quiet because Kelleher's legit. Mm-hmm. That will definitely be his best win.
Jesus versus Tekashi 6ix9ine.
There you go. The tattoos gonna rub on each other. Yeah. Jesus 6ix9ine. They're gonna join together like Voltron.
Jesus 6ix9ine.
Jesus 69s. Oh God. That's what I'm talking about. I saw that porno. Yeah.
Oh man.
This one, Joseph Benavidez versus Bea Malecki.
Supermodel versus a chick from the favelas.
Man. So going into this fight, Tony wanted to back Nunes. He did. I'm giving him credit for he wanted to back her so bad, and I wasn't on Bea Malecki as far as she's gonna dominate this or not. I just thought the size discrepancy would make this an ugly, which it was ugly.
Well, she was a Muay Thai champ too, right? You think, maybe she'll know how to control distance, but Muay Thai they fight close a lot,
they do.
Close, and I think that's her detriment.
And they block with her face, because that's what Bea Malecki. She would just put her hands down, like when she got knocked out, and was at the end of the first round. Josie Nunes just came in throwing bombs.
Yeah,
just like no jab. There was no jab. It was just hook.
Well, Muay Thai is it's the art of 8 limbs, but there's a big emphasis on elbows in close, knees in close, and that you didn't want to let that little pit bull in there like that. No,
and then she was just going, I'm going for her head. I'm going for the head. It was sloppy. But at the end, like, Malecki is just walking to the side with her hands down. Like, she's not even paying attention. She just gets fucking caught in the chin with a fucking, like, Dan Henderson.
Like, come here, hit me like 10 times. I'm going to try to show a little elbow or something.
Yeah. And then she just, like, took a couple. It was the funny, like, where are you going? Like, what are you doing? You're just taking them. Like, you had 8 seconds left in a round. It was, like, really almost at the end of the first round, too. And Nunes just fucking put her goddamn lights out. It was no question. A walk off.
I would have took down a GPP if I just would have played her.
Yeah, you had to. You had to have her to win. We'll talk about that in Whiskey and Wagers. Nunes she's got power, but she's so small.
No, this is
for
a knock against
135.
Malecki more.
Right.
More
This
so.
is 135, and she's 5 foot tall, if that's even real. She is so short. I sent Tony the picture of their stare down.
This is what division? 125?
135.
135. Well, Andrade has fought there before. She's fucking small.
Who did Andrade fight at 135?
She's just fought there before. I don't know who she's fought there, but she's been in that division.
Strawweight?
No, bantamweight. She's going for Nunes. Her goal is Amanda Nunes. That's
No,
what she's
there's
going
no
at.
way.
But I'm saying if you're fighting that division, that's what your goal is. Even Holly Holm, GDR, like come on, they're gonna
There's
fight
a lot of big girls. Yeah.
Yeah, they're giants. Misha Tate, Sarah McMahon will wrestle fucker too. Macy Chiasson, like all those girls will destroy.
Irene Aldana.
Every woman on that list will destroy her.
Yeah.
She'd be way too big. Bae Malecki is just not a fighter.
No. She's a supermodel.
She's a supermodel. She's we'll talk about OnlyFans model.
We need her versus Megan Anderson. That'd be a good fight.
Yeah. Can Megan Anderson make 135? I don't want to talk about her weight, you know. I don't want to get don't want to
go that route. You'd be in the Casey Kenny closet.
Going on this one again. This is the one that kind of cost my DraftKings night.
So
Fabio the Water Buffalo Chiron.
I love it.
Versus Nightmare William Knight. And I was really big on Fabio Chiron in this fight, mainly because I was so against William Knight. My hatred for William Knight blinded me in this fight.
I think that
I'm being honest.
Chiron just came in too aggressive and got caught with a short left hook.
They've got strike for strike. They're pretty even. Everything's pretty.
Well, William Knight has been like the underdog story that he just keeps on winning when he's not supposed to until he finally ran into his last opponent.
And that guy was extremely underrated though too.
And just totally had no wrestling defense whatsoever.
No grappling defense. Yeah.
And Fabio Chiron is all grappling. I'm surprised he landed more strikes than him because he is all about the grappling game, the sub game. That's kind of where he goes. And I thought he would get Knight to the ground and then it would end up in a submission, probably in that first round. I knew this was going to be a first round fight. This was not going to be a 3-round battle, 3-round war. Knight catches him late in the first round and just puts his fucking lights out. Chiron really didn't do that, and again, that screwed me not only in our head-to-head picks, but our my DraftKings. Like that was of my underdogs. The one that I really backed to help me was old boy that beat up Trevin Jones. I'm not gonna try to say his name again, but the guy who beat Trevin Jones. And I was trying to go with Chiron really big, which if it would have pulled out,
I think Chiron's out.
Yeah, I think so too. He's a short notice replacement. His first fight. Pete the Heat from Awesome MMA. You sold me on your boy. This is your boy up here. I took his back because how hard you saw.
At least his other boy won, Porter.
Yeah, Parker Porter. Like you sold me hard on Fabio Chiron. Just letting you know, man. You sold me a bill of false goods because William Knight's not that good. Sorry.
Pete the Heat was playing William Knight in his lineup.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's trying to do.
He's trying to play lineups opposite or whatever.
He's playing the lip service so his boy hears that good stuff. But really, like, no, I'm fucking stacking William Knight in this shit. I did play some William Knight and it didn't make me come up positive. Yeah. But again, definitely Fabio Chiron hurt my night. But again, these two guys I don't see making.
And on the other side, Bahamondes helped mine a lot.
Yeah, going on to the next fight. This
is one of I picked Bahamondes, right?
Yeah,
you picked
Bahamondes.
I straight picked Bahamondes.
You straight picked him. Yeah. Yes, you did. And Roosevelt Roberts.
I just did not trust Roosevelt Roberts.
Roosevelt Roberts is a good fighter, but he's starting to be that guy. If he's the favorite, stay away from him.
Yeah.
He's the type of guy you might want to play as an underdog, but if he's the favorite, stay away from him because he tends to shit the bed. Bahamondes, we kind of thought he would have the striking edge, and my biggest fear in this fight was that he would be like sloppy at one point, maybe try to get a takedown, sloppy with his and tight, and Roberts would lock him up in a guillotine. That's
the thing with Ignacio is like he's good on the feet offensively, but another one that isn't so defensively sound. Like you got to do a better job of blocking punches to get in, just not taking them in the face. And he has that scar tissue too, so it kind of looks bad.
He had a tough loss his last fight, wasn't it?
Makdessi.
Yeah, Makdessi. Again, another guy
great fight,
who's not that much to write home about, Mr. Bond.
But it could have been a thing like he just stood toe to toe with him. Maybe he thought in his head he was getting the better of him and all that stuff. So maybe that's a good learning experience. But
and then Bahamondes fucking that bad third round spinning back kick that fucking
awesome.
Knighted him, put him to
right
sleep.
there towards the end. Right, how much time was left?
There's less than a minute, I think.
No, it was like seconds. I think.
I think less than a minute for sure. Yeah, it was
5 seconds left. He knocked him out.
Put him the fuck to sleep. He was gonna get the decision anyway.
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
But who
Yeah.
knows? But who knows?
I think he would have won probably clean sweep.
Somebody said that Paul Felder beat Dos Anjos that fight. Just remember that.
Yeah,
Just remember that.
That's fucking
If
nuts.
Paul Felder goes, what?
About money.
So, yeah.
About
So,
money
Ignacio
on the chest.
making his way up.
Is
Yeah.
that Abraham Lincoln? Yeah.
Got a white man on his chest.
He's got
And
Illuminati.
the Illuminati.
Money bags.
Money bags.
All
See with a
right.
Pfizer logo on there.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the
Get me
first
started.
fight of the night.
Sasha Paletnikov,
Oh, man.
last fight in UFC
This is
history
a beat.
versus Ramiz Brahimaj.
This was a beatdown.
I was all on Brahimaj. I had him in every single DraftKings lineup that I had. Brahimaj came in very highly regarded grappler, right? Big pedigree in the grappling game. Well known for losing an ear. Not the Tyson way, but Max Payne Griffin ripped his ear off against the cage.
Against the kid. Yeah, that was brutal.
That was a tight fight till that happened when he lost TKO because of that.
Yeah.
But the big takeaway from that, he refused to grapple. Like that whole fight, he did not want to engage for some reason. Maybe he wanted to prove it that he can strike with a guy who's a striker, whatever it was. But he did not go for any takedowns. Versus a guy like Sasha Paletnikov, who has 2 UFC fights. His first one was it Louis Koski Louis Koski, big favorite, who gassed out. But in that first round, Koski wrestle fucked him, and he was getting thrown around the cage. And he looked one-sided as hell. What happened was that was it. He gassed out, and we kind of see it's a Koski brother fucking tradition. It's a family.
Yeah.
It's a family fucking heirloom.
Genetic
They pass on-
mishap.
Yeah, exactly. They both had no gas, so he was able to win that fight late. Then his second fight against Impa, I kind of backed Sasha after that Koski fight, right? Thought this guy's pretty good. Impa just coming off that crazy highlight reel back kick knockout from Buckley. Which where the hell has he been?
He's fighting Buckley. He's fighting somebody. I can't remember who.
I don't know, Numanza. But anyway, in his second fight, Sasha against Impa, who's not known for his grappling, takes him down right away and then subs him quick early in that fight. So what did I see? Fresh in the fight, this guy's not very good against takedowns and grappling. He just really isn't.
Yeah.
He has good tank, he's good wind, right? Versus a guy who's a world-class grappler who did not use it in his first fight. So I thought Ramiz is going to come in and say, you know what? I'm going to go right to my roots. I'm going to take this guy down. And I thought it was going to be one-sided, and that's really what happened. It was only 3 strikes.
Yeah, Paletnikov was like fighting the choke for like most of the round.
Right, and then he got that with the RNC, right?
Yeah, rear naked.
Yeah, put him out early, night, and Ramiz moves on, which is I think is a good win for him. Give him some confidence back, give him momentum, because I do think he's got a bright future moving forward. Paletnikov, he's probably not going to fight in the UFC.
Well, that does it for what? UFC Vegas 35?
34.
34.
Which was much more entertaining than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it wasn't
On
bad.
paper. Sometimes these cards on paper don't look that exciting, and then, there's no expectations. You go into it, and it's a lot of fun, especially the prelims. The prelims were a blast.
Yeah.
The main card had some snoozers on it, but the prelims were awesome.
Yeah.
Well, how'd we do on our whiskey and wagers?
Well,
No sport book bets for me.
I
but-
had one sportsbook bet, and it was Brahimaj by sub. That came in for me. It was plus 180. I was all about his grappling for that for sure. He was a big favorite, so I didn't want to take him at that chalky price. So I figured, put that prop down because I think he's going to get it by sub. So yeah, that came back for me. And then on DraftKings, I came back with more money that I put in. Again, Charant ruined my night. If you would have swapped out Charant for Nunes for me, it would have been a much, much better night for me. But I did walk away with more money that came in, right? I came benefit, doubled up. Tony had a little bit better night to me.
Yeah, I placed in 2 GPP tournaments. I mean, I didn't take home bukus, but, I played $5, won 12.
6 right?
I had 2 6 for 6s, but I didn't have Nunes. I needed Nunes. Pichelle kind of screwed me over.
She literally broke the slate.
So.
She literally broke the slate.
But it was a good night for DraftKings for me.
Yeah,
So
for sure. And it was a tough night too, because the 9K was so shitty.
yeah.
The night we knew that going in.
And so there's like some nights you'll notice that in DraftKings, like maybe have 4 7,000 options, 2 other decent options.
The
Have been kind of.
the one I knew Kelleher. Kelleher was the guy that on that 9K that was probably the best one on there. I thought Madsen would do more wrestling. That's why I had him as my top guy, and he just did not do none wrestling, no wrestling whatsoever. William Knight as a guy or boom or bust, I had no faith in him.
Kelleher was the cash cow, right?
Yeah, he was the top scoring one. William Knight was because we both agreed on the rankings of these guys. William Knight, I thought if he won, he would score high, but I didn't think he was going to win. I just thought he would. And then Chase Sherman, I just had no faith.
Yeah, he was last.
Like I don't. And we both had him last. Tony, you didn't get your value guys right. That's what screwed you.
Oh, yeah.
You had Royval, Lingo, Paletnikov, and Gaslam. So Lingo did win for you. That
Lingo
came off.
did, yeah.
I had Royval, Lingo, Bahamundez, and of course the man of the hour,
Charant.
Fabio Charant, who did not pay off for me. But I did have the Bahamundez. If you played him, you had over 100
Yeah,
points.
but you
on
pick the
79.
value. You kind of factor in more than just the fact that they'll win, but
it's always if they win, what's going to happen too, right? And
Yeah.
you're picking an underdog. You're picking a person who probably has a 35% or less chance to win that fight.
Yeah.
So again, a guy like Fabio Charant, who was $6,800, you put him in your lineup. You can put anybody else you want in that lineup. If he does win, it's going to be quick because William Knight's not going to fight a long, drawn-out battle. It's probably going to be a first-round sub. So if he were to pull that off at $6,800, all you got to get is 70 points from him.
It's still about targeting the right fights.
So he can win an ugly decision and get his money back. You got to think when you're picking a DraftKings fighter, no matter who they are, right? Whether it's Conor McGregor or some guy on a card you never heard of, you want to get at least 10 times their salary, right? 10.5 is ideal, but you got to at least get 10K. So what that means if the guy is $9,000, you want to get at least 90 points from that person, right? And so on and so forth. But you really want to get other. The reason Josie Nunez, who was also really low owned, we'll talk about that too. She was like 6,900 or something.
I think 75,
she was
7,400.
She was low, one of the lower priced people. She's on a lower tier for sure, and she was the highest scoring person of the night. And that opens you up. Another thing we had about lower owned, right? So think of it like almost like the stock market, right? You want to buy low, sell high. If someone only is 10% owned, like Josie Nunez was, or 10 or 11, whatever it is, that means 90% of the rest of the people don't have her. So when you score, you're gaining ground on 90% of the people in that tournament. So Charant was a guy who was at 11. Hubbard was again really low on guy.
It's very volatile though.
Right, it's very. So you're
gonna probably burn some lineups.
But every card, that one person's gonna be there. You never know. Obviously, don't know who it is, but there's gonna be that one person that nobody thinks gonna win. You gotta throw in a couple of lineups. It sounds stupid. You have no faith in that person whatsoever. Yeah. It's ridiculous. We were debating Pilarte or Charant, right? Before the fight, we were debating those two guys because we knew somebody was gonna be the one to do it, and it happened to be Nunez. We just didn't pick the right one. So you need that one person that nobody thinks. And then also sometimes you got to look and see, there might be certain people like Pantoja who's going to go under the radar because he's right underneath the 9K, right? A lot of people are going to go to Royval
or try to pick the lowest owned 9K or the least popular one.
Or if you know a value guy, like I said, Royval's a very popular value guy. You know a lot of guys are going to go to him, so obviously his opponent.
Same with Gastelum,
right? His opponent's going to be.
So Cannanier would have been like a contrarian play.
Yeah,
probably for the most part.
I had a lot of Cannanier. I just didn't think Gastelum had a shot in the fight because of the size difference. But again, so beyond just picking winners, you have to differentiate yourself from the field somehow too. And you don't need to put 6 people in your lineup that are different than everyone, but you need that 1 or 2 people. You need to have that 1 or 2 people that differentiate yourself. You could have 4 or 5 chalky people that everyone has, but those other 2 got to be something that nobody else does.
Yeah, create your core 4,
right?
And then fuck around with the other 2.
My horse last night was Ramiz Brahimaj. I had him in every single lineup I put in. If he would have lost, I would have been screwed for the night. But you got to kind of roll that way too. There's going to be some nights that you're just going to get fucked. But again, think about differentiating yourself in the field, not just going by.
You need some skill, you need some luck.
And also you got to think too, if you're going through it, especially a lot of people make their lineups by hand. If you're thinking about doing it, somebody else is thinking about doing that too. Someone else is going down that road too. So kind of figure that into what's going on. Picking dogs is always a good thing in DraftKings.
How are you guys doing on your picks for the year?
It is locked up steady. Tony,
I see you got a couple buttons undone.
Oh yeah, this is just me every day now. this is just the new life I live. Got the new duplex. I
had to buy some mothballs because my nice shirts ain't been getting more.
But Tony edged me out by Bahamundez. Right, was a big part of the big difference.
Bahamundez and I went with Knight. You went with Charant.
Right.
You kind of caught me back up though in the main event.
Yeah, the main event I had Cannanier. He won against Gastelum, but he still edged me by 1 fight last night. 8-4 he was. I was 7-5. So that locked. We were going in I was 1 ahead. So we're locked up, tied up going last night. Whose butthole's getting waxed?
So is that what we're doing?
I'm just putting out into the universe to see what happens. That's all. Whose asshole is getting waxed on air?
All right, let's move on to next week.
I gotta make some smarter picks
on air.
So I'm kind of loving Tapology's site more than I am UFC's
It's the best.
Site,
it's way better.
It's the best.
We might start just using Tapology.
Yeah,
going forward here.
it's the go-to, I think, too.
There's lots of other cool shit you can look at while we talk about it. You know.
So is this UFC Fight Night Vegas 35?
Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
Barboza Chikadze. Is that how you say it?
Chikadze.
Chikadze.
Makes you want to eat some chickpeas, yeah?
My Georgians. The one Georgian doesn't wrestle, though.
Yes, he just kicks the shit out of your liver.
This is gonna be a fun banger of a main event.
I have to go with Edson Barboza here. Like, part of me wants to go with like Chikadze, but I just think this is a fight where it plays out well for Barboza. Like, it's gonna be on the feet.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the experience edge, right?
Yeah.
Giga's a great striker.
He can grapple if he needs to.
Great kickboxer, but he's not going to do anything that Edson hasn't seen, right?
Yeah.
There's not a big age, even though one's younger, right? Especially in a UFC career or MMA career, it's not a huge age difference, right?
Yeah.
Barboza's been in a little bit more battles that you do put that in there. They look at the height and the reach is almost identical. This is as pick 'em as it gets to me. Again, I lean Barboza as well. But I don't. Something about
Chikadze's on a roll.
He's on a roll right now. Yeah,
he's got 5, and then what do we got? 3?
He had that liver kick, Giga kick knockout of Cub Swanson that kind of put him on the map for sure. It's gonna be a fun fight to watch. Right? They're gonna probably be mostly in fighting at distance, throwing some head kicks and fucking liver kicks from Barboza or liver kicks from Giga. Head kicks from Barboza. This is gonna be a great fight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good way to close out the show. Definitely something you want in DraftKings. This is definitely you have a little bit of both of these guys in DraftKings. It's gonna be high
output
for sure, and someone's probably going to sleep.
Yeah, I like Barboza. I'll take
everything
Barboza.
we said about the Barboza Burgos fight. Double it down here. Yeah. This is not gonna be a boring fight.
And these next two, Ultimate Fighter. Finishers. I mean, I haven't been following this enough, so I really don't know. Brian Battle's replacing, who is it? Tresean Gore.
Tresean. Yeah. And Tresean's been I think my favorite to win that show.
Yeah, and Battle's a favorite over Urbina here, huh?
Yeah, slight favorite, huh?
He's a little bit bigger.
Middleweight versus a welterweight.
Pooh Bear. Brian Pooh Bear Battle. I mean, it should be a good fight, but
Fights at the BMF Ranch.
BMF Ranch with Cowboy.
Yeah. So I don't know who you got here, Mike.
I'm gonna go with the guy who fought his way to get there and go with.
I kind of want to take Urbina as well.
Yeah. Well, a chance to win some money there.
Plus 140.
Kind of see it playing like the Kelvin Gastelum deal.
Yeah. Right.
Kind of the guy that nobody wants.
What
to
does
pick.
the general consensus say on Tapology? Who do they think is going to win? Go to the bottom. Wow, Battle.
Heavy on
76%.
That means I definitely like Urbina even more. Yeah. This is also talking about ownership in DraftKings, right? Tapology is a great site to look and see where do you think the public is looking. Then you can kind of guess who's going to be low owned, right? Yeah. There's other ways you could do it, different subscription sites. I'm not going to give anybody props without paying me. Yeah. But there's different stuff you can do. There's stuff that I subscribe to. But Tapology is free for everyone. Looking at that general consensus kind of gives you an idea of where the public is leading. So if you want to be a little contrarian, you can look on Tapology for sure.
And then you have the what is this? The bantamweights.
The bantams, yeah. Look at again. These guys
Ricky Tercios and
Hadouken.
Brady Heistand. Hadouken.
Is he from the? Is Brady from the fucking tough season? I think both these. Oh, these guys are.
Yeah, they're tough.
Yeah, this is the bantamweight.
This is the bantamweight.
These are the two bantamweight ones. Yeah, the other one. Okay. Alpha male versus sick jitsu.
I mean, a 72-inch reach at bantamweight is pretty impressive.
That's a pretty big dude with that height. I mean, and he's the favorite going in again. I'm gonna go with him too because of the alpha male factor too. Like you're getting top notch coaching, everything versus a sick jitsu. I didn't even heard that, but that gym.
Yeah, he's 144, so he cuts down a little bit more maybe. He's gonna be bigger.
He's gonna be bigger, thicker fighter, and Tercios.
80%. Yeah, well.
So all right.
So I'm going Tercios and Urbina to win tough.
Oh, let's get into this next one. I don't
this
know.
Next one.
I kind of want to pull the trigger on D-Rod.
Well, I'm definitely going to play a little bit of D-Rod in DraftKings for sure. As far as heads-up picks, and if I'm going to lay a money down, I probably would say Kevin Lee.
He's going to be much bigger than Kevin Lee.
But Kevin Lee's a much well-rounded fighter.
Kevin's got a longer reach, though. Look at that shit.
Younger.
Those long arms.
He's younger, too. Yeah. Fighting out of TriStar, working with, what's his name? Faraz Sahabi. Again, much more
what Kevin Lee are we going to get, though?
I mean, Kevin Lee was on a warpath. He lost to Charles Oliveira. That was his last loss he had. He got subbed by Charles Oliveira, which is not shameful, right? It's not the worst thing that could fucking happen to you. It's D-Rod, who is, again, a good fighter, fast hands. He's a little bit older. But I think even if he is piecing up Kevin Lee on the feet, Kevin Lee's going to get him down. He could win rounds and steal rounds that way. I think Kevin Lee wins this fight by decision. That's where I would lean on the fight.
Yeah. I could see D-Rod scoring a knockout, though.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the next day that's what happened. I'm curious to see what the pricing is going to be on that one.
I think D-Rod might be one of my underdog picks. I think I'm
that might be the 8,000 fight.
Yeah.
That might be the 80,000 fight.
All right.
Andre Petrovsky, the guy who they wanted to win tough, who ended up losing the tournament, so we're going to get this motherfucker in the UFC, versus Michael the Gentleman Gilmore. I think Petrovsky, he looked great. I actually watched his fight. He looked like a UFC fighter. He did fight that. Wasn't the Alaska FC guy? Isn't that who he beat?
Yeah, he fought. He was the first fight on the show.
Yeah,
right?
the Alaska FC guy. So, yeah, Aaron Jeffrey. There you go.
Yeah.
But he just looked sharp, strong, physical wrestler. I think he's going to kind of dominate this fight. He's going to style on Gilmore.
Yeah, not much
Yeah,
about
he's a
Gilmore.
pretty big favorite.
Yeah, that's going to be a 9K guy, I think.
All right.
GM3, Gerald Mershard, Tony's favorite fighter.
Nah, Sam Alvey. We're not there yet.
Hey, let's let it be known. Tony picked GM3 to beat Hamza Chimaev. He picked him. He was all about it. He's going to choke him out, too.
Yeah, I thought he was going to try to take him down and choke him. Instead, he got knocked the fuck out.
Instantly. Versus Mahmoud Muradov. A.K.A.
Still not my worst pick ever.
No,
listen,
meniscus.
He's a big underdog. In this
because
fight.
this motherfucker Muradov's
Yeah,
a bad
Muradov's
boy.
going to murder him.
He's going to piece him up. I think Muradov knockout in round 3 is a fun bet because he's won his last fights in round 3. He kind of pours it on as the fight goes. Great stand-up, great kickboxing. Again, part of the money team.
Yeah.
The strangest pairing in marriage in fight sports. The fact that him and Floyd Mayweather work together. Like, how does Floyd fight? Of all the MMA fighters, not the Kevin Hollands or shit like that. He finds this guy in the middle of fucking Uzbekistan. And but he's legit. I think Murat gets him.
I'm all over Muradov here.
Yeah. Mearshire only picks on cans.
Yeah. This
All
next
right,
one,
prelim.
DiChirico is about to 2.0 his win over Buckley. He's going to do the same thing.
Not only that, like the only way that Hassan wins fights is knocking people out, right?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna knock out this motherfucker. His head is so thick.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a 3-fight
He's got pretty good
losing
defense.
streak. Chaos.
Yeah.
Laziz. Yeah. He just fought recently, didn't he?
Well, his
Hassan?
last fight,
Yeah.
He
3
lost
months,
to
3 weeks
Malkoon.
ago.
Remember Malkoon fucked him up.
Yeah, and
Grappled the
Malkoon-
shit out of
and
him
then
for 3
that's
rounds.
not a fucking highlight loss
Yeah.
either. Versus again, the Terrico derailed Buckley.
Yeah.
Right? He ended the Buckley hype train for sure.
Right.
Never been knocked out.
Nope.
Never
He gets
been
decisioned.
Never been knocked out. He's got a big solid fucking dome piece, and he
he's
has
gonna,
power.
I think he's gonna fuck Al Hassan up.
I think we're on and the public the fucking Vegas odds say so too. He's minus 225.
And you better interview the losers too, because if not, Detroit's gonna let you know about it.
Although depending on where the DraftKings goes, I might place him Al Hassan. He does have he has a judo background.
Yeah, he'll probably be 73, 7,400.
If he's that low, I'm going to play some of him for sure.
He probably will be.
But
7,500.
I don't know. He never uses his judo. He never uses it. I mean, you never see it.
Gasses out too quick.
That's where that's his background. But yeah, I think Chirico gets that done.
Yeah. I don't know on this one. I'm torn.
The Chirico's going to knock him out and tell them to interview him. Remember?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said you better interview the loser.
Yeah,
or
he's always
Chirico's going to get mad.
The Chirico gets mad if you don't interview the loser.
Yeah.
Like, this is honor. We are
Right.
both
He said
warriors.
both people trained up until this point put a lot of time. They need to be heard.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Hey,
And we get
Joe.
shit
Hey,
like-
Joe interviewed Connor.
Yeah.
Then that meme lives on
They interviewed
forever, right?
Benavidez.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, what that perfect tan Sam. Smiling Sam Alvey. Tony's
I'm going with Sam Alvey.
man. Okay, this is the fight.
He's underdog too.
Sam Alvey has lost 5 in a row.
And I think I picked him on all 5.
Julian Marquez's last fight. And they're not bad losses.
No,
they aren't a bad
They're
fighters.
up and comer prospects.
But Sam Alvey is up there in age, and his chin is just shot. Like his last fight against Marquez, he had an Alvey, I had Marquez, and Alvey was kind of in the fight. He does have some pop, he does have some power, but fucking Marquez rocked him at the end of the first round, and Alvey went to the wrong corner.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is over. And sure enough, that second round, he ended up getting choked out. Versus what I determines who's not like much better in the sense of I'm not above being knocked out. Alvey can knock Wellington Thurman out. That could happen. I'm going with the younger guy, the 25-year-old though, in the hopes that he's getting better. Where Alvey's only getting worse.
I'm just gonna keep going with Alvey till he's out.
I mean,
he could go against Izzy, and I'm picking him.
Whoever
Just to fuck
loses
with
gets
you.
cut from the UFC is what
I'll even
about to
give you a
happen.
pick.
Probably. I'm going with Wellington Thurman again. Give me the 25-year-old over the 35-year-old.
I'll give him Sam
who's
Alvey.
got
This is
chin
where he
issues.
does it for me.
Next up, Dustin Jacoby versus Darren the Dentist Stewart.
Darren's too small. I think Jacoby's going to rough him up.
Yeah,
outstanding kickboxer. Yeah, he's going to be much bigger than Stewart.
Well, Stewart has fought at middleweight, right?
Yeah.
He's fought at middleweight before. Yeah,
he fought
Kevin
Anders
Holland.
at middleweight, and then
Kevin
they did it
Holland.
at light heavyweight, and he fought, Kevin Holland.
So, I mean, Jacoby's a big dude, big, powerful striker. And then
Great kickboxer.
Darren Stewart's tough to knock out, but I think Jacoby's
Darren Stewart would have to go to like some kind of wrestling well here. I don't know if he can get Jacoby.
Yeah, I don't see where he gets the edge on this fight, even if it goes to wrestling. I think even if it goes to wrestling, he's just bigger, stronger, and he can wrestle too.
Yeah.
Like Jacoby can wrestle too. I think Jacoby gets a knockout victory, similar to what Anders did.
Yeah.
Similar to what Anders did in that fight. He's going to be bigger, stronger, more powerful.
Yeah, Jacoby.
Who's this?
Mike's cousin.
Vanessa Demopoulos, right? Say the name, right? Little Monster versus JJ
Kind of even looks like
Aldrich.
Jackson with long curly hair a little bit.
You saying Carlo then?
Man, minus 350 at JJ.
Oh, I'm loving Demopoulos at an underdog. She former LFA champion.
She's small though. Look, 5'1", 115. 62-inch reach versus Aldrich, and Aldrich is a fucking little pit bull.
I'm going for it.
It's that family bias.
I'm
gonna go with JJ Aldrich.
This one's for the bloodline.
JJ
The little monster eats.
Send her back to
JJ
LFA.
Aldrich. She's not. She's a champ. Aldrich never been a champ of shit. LFA is not. Being an LFA champion is not a fucking slouch.
All right, we got two more here.
We're in
I
agreement
think
on this
Pat
one.
Sabatini should win this fight.
I think Pat Sabatini out wrestles Jamal Emmers.
Jamal Evers is a minus 140 favorite though. Is that not a typo?
No, I mean that's barely a favorite though. That's almost pick and price. Look at plus 115. Yeah. By the time this fight happens, Sabatini's gonna be a favorite because of that money people are gonna bet for Sabatini. And it's gonna flip.
What do the people think on Tapology? What are they? Yeah, that's kind of how
I think he's gonna win on points. He's gonna wrestle control time. It's gonna be pretty one-sided in that sense. Yeah. And Sabatini gets that done.
Unless he gasses or some shit.
Yeah. I mean, Emmer's been out for a long time too. I think it's been over a year since he's fought.
Well, no, that was not saying.
This one, blink and you'll miss it. My man, Mana Martinez.
41 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
Mana Martinez, lock him in your lineups. KO first round. He is gonna put Guido Canetti to sleep. The word "can" is in his name. He is a can set up for Mana Martinez.
And then the letter I can't.
Martinez was supposed to fight originally Jesse Stratter, another guy who kind of likes to eat punches for dinner. And then he got put against Trevin Jones, and they pulled him out of that fight to put him in this one because they wanted to knock this guy out.
So probably would have considered a good chance against Trevin Jones.
Yeah, Mana Martinez has never seen the third round in a fight. He's been in the second a few times, but everything he's done, he's the one. He fought Draco Rodriguez. He lost to a triangle choke, I think it was. He lost by submission to Draco, but has pretty much fucking iced everybody else. He's another loss early in his career. This fight's gonna end really quick. It's gonna be knockout Mana Martinez.
Yeah, I'll go with
fucking
Mana Martinez as well.
Big hook to the Canetti.
Play it in your DK lineups.
Well, so that's it for Fight Night Barboza. UFC Vegas 35.
Should be a fun card.
So we'll let's go on to this week in MMA news. Here's just the Trey Gore knee injury, I believe. If that end of that first paragraph, due to a knee injury.
It's all right. I mean, he'll end up in the UFC. He's
gonna
be in.
I mean, Dana White's basically saying he'll probably end up fighting the winner of the battle.
That's what I was gonna say. I guarantee, like that'd be on a fight night or something like that on a card. Like, the supposed tough winner versus the winner, you know?
Right.
And then come out. And you also got a pretty much hype fight for your first fight in the UFC too. So again, so yeah, I think I think it might end up working out better for him.
I think so too.
Yeah,
it's better.
It'll build hype for this next fight.
How many good tough losers has there been?
I mean, Bonner, he lost. Right?
Yeah.
Middling career.
Did Gaslam win the Ultimate Fighter?
He won.
Yeah.
Uriah Hall lost.
Yeah,
Uriah Hall lost. Schaub lost.
Yeah.
The runner-ups have
Bisping won? No, he lost.
He won, I think.
Did he?
Diego Sanchez?
He won.
Diaz lost, didn't he?
Lieben lost.
Yeah.
You know, there's been a lot of them that came.
And then
Those first few generations.
It was
least.
craziness. It was the first few generations. That
they
whole
were just building rosters.
right.
And shit,
The depth was different. A lot of those guys came in, but like towards the later seasons, like the runner-ups and especially if you go into like the fucking like tough Brazil and all that shit,
Right.
like the runner-ups don't do much. I think Gore's gonna end up being, and he's a good fighter. It seems like a really good dude too, and he's fighting for the right reasons. So he's got that motivation to keep him going. So yeah, he'll be fine.
So this next thing I'm gonna pull up, I just thought was funny.
Is it Hasbullah?
No,
the motherfucker's on a tear lately.
Chael Sonnen.
Oh yeah. Cauliflower face. Yeah. My brother actually texted this to me. I cracked up. He's like, it's so true. Yeah.
Vanderlei Silva is the only fighter with the cauliflower.
It's true. It's funny.
It's fucking true, man. It's fucking true. Well, all the strikes that he's had, man, the wars that Vanderlei's been in. If anyone's earned cauliflower face, it's been Wanderlei for sure.
The axe murderer.
There's gonna be so many MMA fans that have no idea who he is, and he was a bad motherfucker, man.
The beast,
one of the best of all time.
Scary seeing him on the other side of the cage.
All right, let's keep going. The UFC cut Justin James
on his birthday. I didn't even know that. Oh,
yeah. What did they say? What was the headline here? Just ouch.
Well, I mean, he lost what 4 straight.
Had tough years. He brought like his dad died of cancer or some shit.
I mean. But you got to take all that out. He's lost.
Yeah, and he bet on himself and lost.
He's lost.
Oh, yeah, that was he put his whole purse on himself.
The good news is if he wants to fight, there's lots of avenues to go still. Yeah. Right? I guarantee he wasn't making that much money.
Right. Well, that's why he put it all on himself. He's like, what do I got to lose here?
If he does go to a Bellator or a PFL or even an LFA, I guarantee the money he's making is not going to be much different anyway. It sucks that you're not in the UFC anymore, but again, you were losing. Like it wasn't like you were winning and you got cut. Like you were getting, and he had some decisive. His last fight, it was close. Who was the decision? They lost a close decision to somebody.
Rosa, was it?
Was it Charles Rosa? Yeah, it was Charles Rosa.
Yeah,
it was definitely Charles Rosa.
Rosa fucked him.
100%. Yeah, it was definitely Charles Rosa. Yeah, so he lost a tough decision. But again, you lost. You lost like 3 out of your last 4 or 4 straight or something like that. Like. Right. Yeah,
well, his nickname's a Guitar Hero. Maybe he has an avenue there. Yeah, Charles Rosa.
Yeah, that game's dead, Tony. Coming from a gamer, that game's been dead for about 12 years now.
Yeah, he's been.
All right, let's keep rolling here.
Finished violently, kind of too.
Yeah.
That's not okay. Misha Tate.
Let's do it.
Ketlin Vera.
Misha Tate all day.
How do you say that?
Misha looked really good against Marion.
Yeah, I think you're gonna maybe end up seeing Misha versus.
Oh, well, that's definitely what UFC's hoping,
Nunez. Right? She's just so well rounded, you know.
Yeah, and
but some of those bigger girls, she might. I don't know.
There's also apparently
jacked, though, man.
Discussion of fight between Tate and Aspen Ladd.
It's
but that
a tough fight for her, maybe.
That's a much different fight for sure.
I mean, fighting Macy Chiasson.
I mean, Vera's just gonna want to lay on her, right?
Yeah, Ketlin's not going to beat Misha Tate.
Yeah, you don't want to grapple. I think
you don't
Tate's going to have a grappling edge. I would go. Tate's going to beat her up on the feet.
Yeah.
I mean, Yana Kudryavtskaya, was able to beat her.
It turns out she's pregnant. Saw that, yeah.
Was it during the fight?
Well, she's got a baby bump.
So I had to say. She's saying that she wasn't pregnant during the fight.
Could have been something like low energy. Though.
I mean, I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it because like. That baby would have hit. She would not be pregnant after the fight after having her.
Yeah,
she got
the shit beat out of her.
Who was it?
It was Irene Aldana.
Aldana, yeah, fucking beat the shit out of her. I doubt that baby would have survived if it was there at that time.
All right, let's keep going.
It's a headliner too, huh?
Gustafsson out of September 4th fight against Paul Craig.
Yeah.
Paul Craig probably would have subbed him anyway.
I mean, I don't think they have a replacement yet.
Gustafsson,
because he came back and fought, and he got beat him pretty quick.
He lost to Verdum at heavyweight.
Well, yes. Paul Craig beat Jamal Hill.
Yeah, no, we're talking about Gustafsson. He fought at heavyweight.
He came back.
He fought at heavyweight and lost to Verdum. That's not no shame in that.
Yeah,
fought the bigger guy. I mean, Gustafsson can only beat. Yeah, He had that performance against Jones.
Kind of like same thing Reyes,
same way. Santos, same thing. You fought your way up there. You gave it all. And after that, you never were the same. Yeah. And those were fucking wars, so I can kind of get it. That Jones fight was that was like Rocky. Right. Even a picture in the hospital together, right?
Yeah.
What the second Jones fight was an ass whipping.
Yeah, but
that was a fucking one-sided fucking. Right. But Paul Craig will get somebody to sub him. Yeah. They'll give Paul Craig somebody to sub.
Pull subs out of his ass.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep rolling.
See, Serkinov's going down the middleweight.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, there it is. The buzzer beater.
Did he get knockout of the night for that? I hope.
Yeah, he got a 50K.
Was there another knockout?
Huh?
Was there even another knockout?
Yeah.
I mean, there was, but there was. I
Nunez,
think they definitely got a $50K bonus.
Like he was
of
walking
that.
away.
You beat up a model.
Who was not
Look at that
looking
shit.
at? Let's see this. Oh
my God.
I mean, that's up there with that's Barboza.
That's like the Barboza Chikadze.
There we go.
Watch that
man.
again.
And you're tired already? Listen, we did our top 10 knockouts last year or whatever, top 5. That one might be up there.
Yeah.
That one might be up there with Corey and Frankie. We'll go over the list towards the end of the year, but man, that one's gonna be in consideration for sure. I have to go back and look. There's some you gotta have Dustin and Connor for sure. That's gotta be up there, but still.
With 5 seconds to go.
Yeah, that was outstanding.
Smoked him.
Look at that picture.
Oh, I love it when the cheeks.
His right cheek became his left cheek.
There's 4 G's in that cheek right now.
Look at the spit flying off of his face.
Where did his cheekbones go?
Look at Mark Smith in the background.
Ooh, I'm not even gonna stop this. We all know Mark Smith.
I love what he told Roy Val. Like Roy Val got punched in the eye, and he's like, "What's wrong, Roy Val? You're in a fight."
Yeah.
He's like, "What's your problem, bro?"
Fucking Mark. That's that military shit.
All right, let's keep going. I don't know if you guys watched Bellator.
I did watch this.
The Czech Congo.
So Tenov was winning this fight.
What kind of Czech Congo's
thing?
Thing, you know, they beat up on me. But
Czech Congo's 46.
I believe it, man. He was fighting a long time ago, man. He was fucking.
Him and Rampage got some good Instagram shit going back and forth. They keep fucking with each other. So
man,
funny.
Rampage just let himself go, man. Man. That's a big dude nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, kind of the heavyweight division in Bellator is a fucking joke, man. Yeah. Jake Hager's in the top 10.
That's nuts.
Jake Hager's in the fucking top 10.
Oh.
Jack Swagger for my WWE fans.
Ooh.
But yeah, I mean, Congo's always been that fighter who is decent, right? Can beat some guys, but never stuck up with the elite. He never can hang in there with the elite fighters.
Well,
look at his face all swollen up. Dude. How much longer are you gonna do this, dude?
I mean, if he's able to win, why not, right?
Yeah.
Making money in Bellator. Apparently, Bellator pays their fighters well.
All right. I don't know. I watched this fight last night a little bit while UFC was going. Pacquiao fighting Ugas. Definitely.
Who was he supposed to fight?
Spence.
Oh, that would have really been bad then.
Right, and I think he got hurt.
Yeah, he got a car accident, did he?
Is that what it was? I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, like a Ferrari or some shit. Fucking
was
around.
Was that what the accident?
Was that it?
I don't know.
Remember.
I didn't hear of it.
I don't remember what
Maybe
happened.
I'm like putting two different things together. But he definitely got hurt for sure and couldn't back out. I mean, yeah.
Pacquiao just got out fought. It wasn't a one-sided ass whooping, but he was
just hanging around for too long. I think it's time for Pacquiao. If you want to fight, start going the Triller route.
Oh.
You'll fight.
Listen, I think he'd beat Jake Paul. I mean, he's a lot smaller.
Jake Paul has no fucking chance against Manny Pacquiao.
Neither he eye injury. Retinal tear.
Canceled when it just hatched retina in his left eye just 12 days before the fight. Oof. See that there? Yeah. So, yeah, Spence. Hopefully he'll get that fixed. I don't know what you do for that, but.
I mean, I don't think anyone wants to buy that.
Ugas was like, "Hey, I'll fight Earl Spence." After the end of the post fight. But yeah, I mean Pacquiao, lost two more. It was like 7-5 or something like that.
This is what kills boxing, though. Where UFC, even Bellator, whatever, you have that label, that brand, right? This the UFC champion, is the Bellator champion. Whereas a guy like Ugas, if he were in the UFC, like say he beat, like when he beat Anderson Silva, let's say, right? Pacquiao's kind of at the same level as Anderson Silva, older fighter, big name, still could fight a little bit, right? Ugas becomes a guy like this, is the guy that beat Anderson Silva, and he's the UFC champion. Now Ugas wins this fight when Pacquiao, he's not gonna get no fucking juice. Like no one's gonna fucking care. Yeah. No one's gonna want to watch. Like I said, if it was like the UFC level, Spence Ugas like, let's watch that. That's a fight to make now, right? But who's gonna buy that fight?
Well. Yeah, definitely. I agree with everything you're saying.
They just need they need some kind of unification. Kind of unification.
Well, Ugas was a pretty big underdog at plus 310, so it would have been nice to put some money on him. But
I definitely thought Pacquiao was going to put him out. That's why I didn't even try to watch the fight.
I thought it was going to go to the decision, and he was just going to outpoint him. But it definitely went the other way. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Manny even thought he's talking about walking away too, right? He's not much more like he.
Well, he was like, well, we'll see what happens. But
he is a politician over there.
Well, and that was when they asked him in the ring if he was going to run for president, and he said he'd answer that next month. So, I mean, if he runs for the president of the Philippines, he's likely to win.
I don't know if you want to try that, man. Dude might murder him.
Yeah, they might. He's so beloved over there.
But Duarte don't play around, man.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like political murders in the Philippines. But
I'm saying that's like saying you're running for president of North Korea. Like you don't say that out loud.
Right.
You don't do that, man.
Yeah. So I mean, I think maybe it's time for him to step down and then run for president, or I don't know. Is he just a gatekeeper now, or? What they
need is to make him some kind of ambassador, man.
Something.
Be a promoter if you want. Help the brand of boxing. That's what they need. That's what boxing. Yeah, boxing does not need Manny Pacquiao fighting. They need Manny Pacquiao selling the sport. Yeah, that's what they need. A guy like that.
Freddie Roach is just looking older and older every day.
Like what would be really cool? Maybe they could do something like The Ultimate Fighter with Floyd and him as coaches, coaching up these young guys, getting them ready for a big fight, a big tournament that way. That way they can talk back and forth, and they can go to the TV. It'd probably be great television, going back and forth. But again, having them passing the baton on to the next generation. I think that could
be a thing. I don't know. Mayweather's probably not interested in doing something like that because
I don't know. He fought Logan Paul.
Because he was making. $50 million. Do a
TV show. But I'm saying if the money team's the ones doing the promotion, if he gets all that shit, he's gonna work his way into that.
Maybe. I mean, he's definitely working with Javante Davis. I don't know. Maybe if he's got the ambition to do it,
Little tank.
Mayweather's doing his fucking Mayweather gyms now and his home workout plan.
He's got his strip clubs too.
Oh yeah,
just if they want to give back to boxing, especially because the Mayweather family is boxing, right? So they could have they could do that whole. Almost like a documentary of that family while the show's going on, totally like this is in our blood, Yeah. The problem is that might end up turning Floyd a babyface. For all the hard work that he does and all the training, people might start to like him, It might hurt his image.
Yeah. Right. Well, I think that's it for this week. This is just another tab I had open to look at somebody. So,
hey, shout out to Hasbullah living life, man.
Hasbullah.
Man.
Hasbullah's ducking Fazeev.
He called out Conor, though. He wants Conor.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it. Conor talked about fighting middleweight.
Yeah, Kevin Gastelum.
Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah.
I sent a tweet out. He tweeted Kelvin Gastelum is 5'9" with whatever reach.
Something reach, and I'm 5'9" with this reach.
Yeah.
Conor might be able to take him. I don't know.
Middleweight sounds interesting. Matt Conor, you're in trouble.
I think Kelvin would knock him out, though.
Can you imagine those punches that Cannanier hit on Kelvin?
And Izzy and all of them.
But I'm saying, the one, we saw Conor's chin is not really there.
Well, he wants to fight Kelvin. That's what he was saying, I think.
Oh, I mean, that'd be different.
Yeah.
But he's not going to knock out Kelvin.
So he was saying he wanted to fight Kelvin at maybe middleweight.
Kelvin would fucking take him out. I thought he was talking about just going to middleweight as a future.
Conor's nuts, man.
He's losing it. He's
fucking.
He's just got to fight Diaz.
But you know what it is too? That guy is a ball of madness, right? He always has been. Yeah. Now he's up with one fucking leg, stuck at home, watching everybody else star, and it's driving him crazy. He's stuck in there. He's basically Trump on the shitter, right? That's basically what it is. You're sitting down, you give him access. You got nothing else to do. You're fucking bored.
You're staying relevant.
You're the kid, you break your leg before summer. You see everybody else out in the pool playing, and you're stuck in your room with the cast on, right? That's basically what he is right now.
Right. Well, I guess that's it for this week. We'll be back next week with more In the Guard.
Yeah. Big belt promotion for us on Saturday. You'll come back. I'll come up with my blue belt tied on my head.